Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world. In South Africa today, it is Thursday evening, and that means Team 333 training, while Chris and Lucinda are in the United Kingdom. In London, actually, they are freezing their little butts off. We are in sunny South Africa and doing the presentation and training for them today. So myself, Gavin, and my wife, Tanya, we'll take you through this, and I think what you're in store for today is short, punchy, to the point, and basically 20 tips or 20 ways to grow your business. Now, these are obviously not the only ways to do it, but there are 20 of the most powerful that stood out for me when I prepared for this presentation. So before we get started, I want to just ask Tanya to share with you what her journey with LifeWave has been so far.
Hi guys, thank you for all joining the call tonight. It's nice to see a few familiar faces. Cool, so I joined LifeWave in March last year, so it's almost a year ago, and I just wanted the product and get started on the product because I was suffering from menopause and all the symptoms that go with that. So the sore joints, the hot flushes, the brain fog, the moods, the not sleep, all of those things. And a friend of mine who I actually enrolled with, Shirley, she got me onto LifeWave, and she said, you better look at these X39 patches because they are drug-free and natural, and I really think you should look at them. So I got into a Zoom call like we usually do in the evenings. And yeah, I think I was on a Tuesday or a Monday or a Wednesday, and Friday I ordered. So it didn't take us long. I was all in. And since patching, I can say in the first week, all my pain stopped in all my joints. My brain fog lifted, my sleep improved, my energy improved, no more 3 o'clock slump that I used to have. And at 9 weeks, all my hot flushes stopped. So yeah, it's been an incredible journey for me, and my skin's improved, so many things. Every time I see people that I haven't seen for a while, they say to me, my goodness, you're looking younger and younger. And the same for Gavin, for sure. So yeah, it's been an incredible journey for us. And yeah, we just love this business. We love the product. And I'm very passionate about sharing that with people because I see it as my personal moral obligation to share this with people around me. And yeah, I'm just very passionate.
Yeah, and I guess I can vouch for that. I didn't get into starting with the patches because I had something wrong. I was just so intrigued by the fact of the diminishing count of stem cells as you get older. And I was like, oh my word, if I can stop that decline as quickly as possible, that would be amazing. And I've had nothing but amazing results from it so far, and long may that continue. There's no ways that I'm going to stop. All right.
It was a case actually of come here, let me put the patch on you and just do what I'm telling you to do, where this instance is, because my hat in the family is vitamins and seeing to all of that. So I usually lay them all out and do that. And I was like, Gav, come here, let me stick this on you. So that's how it all got started, and he's reaping the benefits. So we all are.
There we go. All right. Well, let's sail into this thing. Time is precious. And let's have a look at 20 ways to grow your business. And we'll start with number 1. And in my book, choose the right company is absolutely the most important thing to do. And I think that beyond a shadow of a doubt, all of us in this room, and even if there are any new people to this, LifeWave is the right company to choose. Why? It was established in 2004, so it's been around 20 years, going on now to its 21st year. So it's been around for a long time. Not only that, there's no competition for it because the products are so patented, no one else can copy them, or they could certainly try, but they're not going to get it right in the way that our CEO has done it. Exceptional growth is another reason why this is the right choice company. And what do we mean by that? Well, if you look at the turnover of the company in 2021, it was $20 million. If you take it Only 4 years later, it went up to $600 million. And the prediction for 2025 is $1 billion. Why do you get such incredible increase? You get it only because the public demands it. The public demands it because they found out that it works. That's a company worth being a part of, because the results actually speak for themselves. And that's why choosing the right company is the perfect thing.
And it's the X39 that catapulted this company into its exceptional growth in 2021, because the X39 was launched in 2019.
Exactly. All right, number 2.
All right, I'm going to do this one. Be a product of the product. I absolutely love that. So we always encourage people to use the product, guys. We know this product works. We want you to experience the benefits of it. We know you're going to get results from using this product. And once you do that, you get your own story. So remember, it's stories that we can relay and relay to people, so that they can hear. And when you tell your own story, it's authentic, and people will believe and trust you because they've known you for such a long time. So when you do go into your networks and you tell them, well, I had backache and I don't have it anymore, or they see people going from, in Robbie's case, I always use Robbie, from broken back to walking in a case of 3 days, that is just phenomenal. So you get your own story and then you just tell the world, and that is a product of the product, right?
Absolutely right. All right, number 3 for me, know your target audience. What we mean by that is, if you're in a company and you need to take a product or a service out into the world, who's the audience that you want to go and see? And the fact of the matter is, there are absolutely no limits. There's no limits to the number of people that you can talk to, because it is the entire population. The world is literally your market. And to add to that, you must expand your business outwards. So from your closest circle of influence, for example, outwards, and just keep reaching further and further and further away, so that you have people that you can contact that are far beyond the borders of our own country. That's the way you really get exponential growth. And the other thing to do is get back to the basics. Chris Hutton always says, where's your name list? Did you write your name list down? He doesn't talk about typing it out. He doesn't talk about writing it up on a chalkboard. He says, write it on a piece of paper. And that's been one of his success secrets. And I firmly believe that that's the right way to do it. And one of the things that you can do if you get a little bit stuck with the name list is download this reminder called Memory Jogger. If you just simply go and Google it, it was actually there's a number of people that have put versions together, but Eric Worre, who's I call him the networking warrior. If you go and Google the Memory Jogger from Eric Worre, it's amazing how it sets you off on they talk about going down the rabbit hole. I mean, it literally does that and expands the number of names that you may not easily get on your mind, but sends you off in the right direction. And I honestly abide by that. I think it's an amazing way to do it. All right, number 4.
Cool. This is to develop a strong personal brand. Okay. So people buy from people that they trust. Okay. People don't do business because the business is good. They do business because of the person. Okay. First and foremost, people do business with people. So they need to trust you. People that know you will trust you because you have a story and you have a history, right? And then be the light, guys. Just go out there and, like I said before, be the product of the product. And just by doing that, you will be the light. You will be the one person, because not only does this product actually make you look better, okay, but you will actually attract people to you because of your positivity, your mindset, because we know that this product does that for you. It changes your mindset. I've heard people on and on say that their mindset changes, they become more positive, they're always solution thinking. You go and grow from strength to strength doing this business. And so therefore you can be the light, right? And then set an example, guys. Do use the product, go out there, talk to people, set an example. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. How were you in the beginning, and what would you have liked other people or somebody approach you the way that you would have wanted to have been approached? Okay? Because like Chris and Javi and everybody says, and I've adapted it too, you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. And you can never say the right thing to the wrong person, right? So set an example, and we represent the company. So be on point, look sharp. I've heard Steve and Gina say that. Don't rock up in your t-shirt and slops. Look the part. Be an executive, be a manager, be a director, be the person that represents this company. Be proud of it, okay? Because why? People are watching you. They're watching your every move because they're watching you. Some are watching you to succeed, and others are watching you to fail. I can promise you that. And you just keep going, and you develop a strong personal brand so that people go, that person, I trust what they say. Look at their story. They behave in a way that I want to conduct myself.
Absolutely right. Okay, so now point number 5 is to master storytelling. It's hard to make a point without a story. So every story ought to have a point. And Javi Solis continually mentions this in I think it's almost his mantra, because the story is the thing that engages, it resonates, it must be authentic. So share your story, whatever it is, and then get to the point. So here's my story. I'm telling you the story because the point I'm trying to get across is it changed my life in these ways, and it can do the same for you too. And that's really the art of it. And the thing to remember is cover everything. Your success, your testimonials create emotional connection with people. If you're sharing that with them, they're going to align themselves with you. The frequency will be right, and they will be able to have what you're telling them. It's so important. And then remember always to get to the heart of the matter. We talk about LifeWave going from the head to the heart. The head is thinking about it, and we haven't really connected with it. And I think for all of us in this call, there was a moment where it went to our hearts, and it became this inner strength that we just embraced and made conversation and approaching people and talking to strangers about LifeWave and its benefits so much easier. All right, number 6.
Cool. So focus on relationships, guys. I love this one. Not just sales, okay? It's important. So you need to, and I heard Chris say this the other night again, guys, like establish the relationship. You haven't spoken to the person for years or whatever it is. You can't just bombard them with information and send them an invitation and say, it's like telling them they have to be somewhere. Like nobody likes to be told something, right? So rather establish a relationship. Hi, how you doing? Haven't spoken in a while. How's the family, etc. So tell, don't sell, okay? So build the connection first. You tell your story. That is, again, authentic. And nurture that relationship, okay? Look after it. Check in with your people. Don't always go straight to the product. Chris's most recent tip is less is more, okay? And just steady as she goes, drip feed, little bit. We all do it in the beginning. We literally vomit on everybody all this information. And we're so excited and we're so passionate and we want to just get it out there. And, oh, they're going to like this one. And, oh, they're going to like that one. No, keep it simple and build that connection and then put it across. And in the previous one where Gav said, share your story and your own, we've said it already. It doesn't have to be this aha, like, you went from not walking to walking. You know, simply just being able to get up easier or sleeping better. That's quality of life, guys. That is giving you quality of life, longevity. That is amazing, because if you don't sleep, you can't function. And if you can't function, you can't be productive. Those are little things, but they actually amount to your quality of life. Okay?
Amazing. Amazing. That's exactly right. Okay, guys, number 7. Provide value first. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing is, if you approach anybody on the subject of Lifeway with care, they realize that. They know that that's authentic. They know that it's coming from the heart. And that's where you should start from. And then the second one for me, which is interesting, is to respect time. People are busy. We all know we are busy. Some of us have other jobs. And when someone affords us the time, we really need to respect that by being on time or not taking too much time, and thanking them for the time that they give us in order to be able to show them. It is so valuable. Then share the patches when you can. Sometimes it's not always possible when you get started and you're busy building a business. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to do that. But when you can do that, patch people and they get to experience it, and then they start to tell others, and then it gets a little bit, then your network starts to build, really, and it can just run away like wildfire. Okay? Then identify the need and deliver the value. So what that means is, when you provide value first, you're finding out from that person what they would like to, what the result is that they're trying to get out of being part of Lifeway. Whether they want the product for a certain aspect of their life that they want to improve, or they want to go straight to the business side. You've got to answer that question, and that's the way you deliver value. There's nothing worse than someone inviting you over, wanting to get involved with the business, and your first presentation is about the product, because that's not the value that they're looking for. The value is in the business. So got to listen to what people are saying around there. All right, number 8, leverage social media. What we mean by that is, there can be massive gains made through exposure. Massive gains. What happens here is you have a platform that is being used all the time by many millions of people, and it's global, right? To social media, don't forget about the 10-day challenge that's underway already, and it's never too late to get involved to find out, if you don't know how to do it, how to get your social media leverage going for you and to benefit you. The other thing is, if you're uncertain, you just start simple. You start very simply and begin to get your message out, and use whichever platform you decide as a vehicle to tell your story. Just start with that. People will resonate with what you're doing and wonder what it is that you're up to, and they will make inquiries. It is essential to do it right, though. Getting social media right across all the platforms is definitely a technology that not all of us understand. So it's always a good idea to reach out to someone who knows the subject backwards for help and guidance to do it. And remember, social media is one of the platforms that is working for you 24/7. So while you're sleeping, someone else can be getting exposed to your business because of it. Don't forget that. All right. Number 9.
Use attraction marketing, guys. Position yourself as an expert, okay? You need to make sure that you know a little bit so that you can speak about it with confidence, okay? And use attraction marketing. So ask questions and interact with people. Share your story. Ask them to share their story. Use that to your advantage, okay? Don't just make statements, all right? And then be unshakable. So I know for me, nobody can tell me this product doesn't work, because I've seen it, I've felt it, I've had people relay their stories to me that we've personally patched, and I just have that certainty. So I'm unshakable. And know the business, okay? Try as much to learn all the aspects about the business, okay? You have a toolbox, you have a compensation plan. There's many, many videos that you can watch. Javi always says, and Chris says, and Gavin says, and I say, you know, invest in yourself. You have to actually learn and put some time aside every single day to learn something new. Whether it's somebody's story, and I look at the stories and I go, wow, I didn't even know that could be used for that, or I didn't know that that result could happen. So really invest in yourself. Use your tools. The toolbox, guys, Chris goes over and over and over again on it. Use your toolbox. Everything that you need to know is in there, and direct people to that toolbox. Okay, don't answer it for them. They have a question. Go look for yourself in the index and go and find the answer. Okay, it happened to me today where I asked something and Chris directed my attention to the toolbox, and I went, oh, duh, of course. So, you know, we preach it, but we really need to practice it too. Okay.
100% agree. All right. So now number 10, guys, so we're halfway through, is follow up consistently. Yeah, this is probably what the make break of the business is. You know, the thing is that most people don't bite or buy right away. Sometimes they need some time to think about it, or they're doubting Thomases, they excuse the phrase, and they don't lean forward and embrace the subject straight away. Well, we've heard it time and time and time again. Success is in the follow-up. Now, how many times is it until you get success? Until you get success. But it can easily be 8, 9, or 10 times or more. So it isn't a case of, you know, as soon as a person says no, to let them off the hook. Got to keep on going. Okay. It is the offline work that pays off. And that's part of the follow-up consistently. It's wonderful being on these presentations, but the really hard work is afterwards. If you invited someone to a Zoom meeting or a presentation or something, it's vital to get to them immediately afterward and say, hey, what did you think? Are you ready? Let's answer your questions if you have some more. And the other part of it is what you have to say is important and life-changing for the other person. And we see it time and time again where people say, no, and I'm not ready, and I don't have time, and I'm thinking about it, or I've heard something. In the end, when they come around to doing it, their life changes. And that's how valuable this thing is. And so if you knew imagine if you were saving lives. Imagine if you were. And the next person that you spoke to, that's what happened to them. That's kind of how important this is. Okay, so we've just got to embrace it that way. And part of that is not to back off. Be worried about what the answer might be. Be worried about how they might receive the information. We don't care. We say this is vitally important. And at some point, they will come around. All right, that's number 10. Now, number 11, develop a duplicable system. Now, what do we have here in LifeWay? We have a system. In Chris, they put together the toolbox. It lays out the system. Any presentation that you've done or been involved with, or any training that you've been to, or any events that you've been to, the system is the same in all conversations. The thing is, we try to get clever and make our own one. That's just crazy. That's reinventing the wheel, literally. And we don't need to do that. And I honestly found that too, because I love to take an idea and put my own spin on it. But I realized quite quickly, actually, there wasn't any necessity to do that. If you just follow the program that's already there, it's quite simple. Somebody's already walked that path, right? And Chris and Lucinda have shown. SPD, 2 years later, he noted everything down in a book called the Toolbox. He so simply explained the compensation plan in the compensation plan 101. Just do that. And that's what makes it so simple. Okay. And then when you've got it, coach others to do it. They must do the same thing. Then Sandy Feast will even talk about duplication. Once you've got it and the penny's dropped, help someone else until their aha moment, and off they go. Right?
Can I just add to that? Because it's a case of in the beginning, you're so overwhelmed with what you need to do. And it's like you got this hamster wheel going, and you're like, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. Actually, if you just instruct your new person and say to them, you know what? All you need to do right now is go and identify, make your list and identify who on there you reckon you could enroll that would want to do the business or want to do the product. It doesn't matter. Get 4 people. That's it. It's not, get 30 people, yes, we make the list, but identify out of your list which ones are the hot ones, which are warm, which are cold, which are, you're going to have to develop that relationship a bit. So identify that so that you can just have that simple, go there. What do I do? Oh, I need to get 4 people. Oh, okay, cool. Boom, boom, boom. And you're done. It's actually that simple. All right, so train and support your team, guys. We're learning every single day how to do this. We try our best. Everybody has the responsibility to, when you enroll somebody, you are responsible for them. Do not enroll somebody and just dump them. Okay, Chris has spoken about this recently, again and again and again. He says we call it, he's calling it, he's finding the orphans. Okay, so you need to be responsible for the people that you sign up, that enroll with you. You are giving them your word. You will work as hard for them as you do for yourself, and you want to put that effort in for them. And when you do that for them, they're going to reciprocate and they're going to go, oh, I'm accountable. And, Tanya and Gavin want to help me. And how do we do this? So you need to also go into your roots. If you've been doing this a little while, you need to get into your roots and go and look for people as well, for those that need help. And again, as your people grow, they should need you less, right? Because they're improving their skills, they're starting to do presentations as well. So always guide to discovery, okay?
So what we mean by that, if a question comes your way from someone who you've enrolled, right? The best thing to do is send them to the toolbox, because it's the self-help that empowers them to become masters of their own business.
Like what happened with me today, okay, where I was like, oh, I don't know how to do this. And Chris was like, Paige, blah, 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 look at here. And I was like, ooh, okay, I discovered self-help empowers, like Gav says. And then show the way so that each blazes their own trail, guys. People want to forge their own way, especially if you are a leader, you go and you just get on with things. Not all of us are, okay? But this business, doing this opportunity, I have certainly grown. Like, I can't even begin to tell you in the last year the growth that I have discovered within myself and what I'm capable of. And that is exciting, guys. It's exciting to see and to know that the sky's the limit.
100%. All right, lucky number 13. Attend events and training sessions. Now, there's no shortage of training. We know. If you were to jot down and diarize every single Zoom presentation that's around there, trainings, live trainings, Zoom trainings, events, local, national, international events, there's not a shortage. So can they sometimes be on the same topic? Yes, but every single time there's a different spin on it. A little Chris calls them a nugget, a nugget that gets dropped that you haven't heard before, and you go, oh my word, that's a good idea. That's what's essential about events and training sessions. There's plenty of reference material, all the websites, thisisit.com websites. There's no shortage, right? The websites too, and the Telegram app that's got all the testimonials on it. My word, there's so much there. Sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming, but remember that when you're building a business, the people that have blazed the trail already, they are the first ones to say that their businesses grew exponentially from event to event. And that's really something that I understand from Chris specifically, from Javi and Olga, event to event. And so you want to remain as engaged as you can with all the activities that are going on. And you can look at their local, national, and international events. I mean, just quickly, there's a road trip around South Africa that Lucinda and Chris are going to be doing. They're currently in the UK. Yeah, I think it's June. We have the big national convention up in Johannesburg. Diarize those things. Do whatever you can to be at them. They're going to be absolutely amazing. And so don't forget that part. All right. So number 14.
All right. Use third-party tools, guys. So do presentations. If you can do them yourself, great. And if you're not confident enough, plug into them. We have these Zoom calls available. You know, they are on Team 333 at 8 o'clock at night on certain evenings. Make sure that you plug into those. On Saturdays, it's and Fridays, it's with the This Is It team. So these platforms are available. Also, all of them get recorded and actually get posted to the YouTube Team 333 channel. You can go and search for anything there and find something that you fancy that you would like to learn about. Okay. And then use your CRM or your LifeWave InTouch app. Guys, I can't overemphasize the capability of this app, which is on your phone, guys. It's a business in a pocket. You can access all your media on here. You can send it via your InTouch app so that when the person opens that, it actually gives you a notification to say, hey, Paul's just seen your video and you should actually follow up with Paul, okay? And you can then go and make notes and it keeps the history of it. So it keeps everything there for you, and use that, guys. It is such a valuable tool and it's part of your registration. You get it. It's in your pocket. Use it, okay? Then you can also make use of AI and ChatGPT. I'm learning. This is something completely new to me, a bit foreign, but you can have fun with it. You can ask AI and ChatGPT to help you to develop a beautiful message, you know, and obviously go read it so that it sounds like you and make some tweaks to it, because else, you know, it's not going to sound like you and authentic. But use the tools is all I'm saying. And then do some patch parties, guys. We do the live briefings. You can also do a little patch party at your house with some friends, or you know, when some girls get together or the guys are on a braai. Talk about, again, as we've said before, talk about the business. Listen. Learn to listen more than what you actually speak. So when somebody says, yo, you know, I have a friend who had an accident, or they're always complaining because they are sore after their training. Guys, this product is a solution to all of these things. Or they're just always tired, or they're sick and tired of being tired. And especially if they're complaining about the money situation, because you can also solve it with LifeWave, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to share something. I mean, the other day we had a board meeting, so there were a number of execs around a table. And before it got going, there was a bit of a chit chat going on, and I reached behind me like this, and I was fiddling, and I pulled this off the back of my neck, and I sort of looked at it like this, and now it's good, and I put it back, and I made it really obvious. And one of the guys sitting across me said, "What's that?" I said, no, it's a X39 patch. I'll tell you about it later. I just left it like 3 or 4 other people noticed what I did. And afterwards, or during a coffee break, actually, the same guy came over to me and said, tell me about that patch. What is it doing? It looks like a plaster. Anyway, there it went, right? So who knows? It's that simple sometimes.
And also, I have a T-shirt. You know, again, it's a third-party thing. So I wear my T-shirt. I wear them to gym. So it has LifeWave on it, and it says Power Over Patch. And people have actually asked me, what is this? When it says stem cell reactivation technology or whatever's on it, it is engaging, you know, and you can have people watch. You watch their face. They actually read your T-shirt. Mm-hmm. So use those tools to your advantage.
Yeah. All right. So now, guys, number 15, master objection handling. Now, this is quite something, but you know, in essence, the more no's you get, the better your objection handling becomes, because you're getting no, because, or but, what about? And the more you get those, you figure out what the answers are. Or if you get stumped, you find out how you would go back to somebody and handle that objection that they have. The faster you get the no's, the more educated you get on objections, the easier it is to overcome it. But the more knowledge you have about the subject, so if you understand the toolbox and you understand the compensation plan, there's not much that people can catch you out on unless they go medical or scientific, right? In which case, I'm certainly at that point where I say, well, I'm not the doctor and I'm not the scientist, but I can tell you what I can do. I can share and find that information to share with you to answer your question, because I don't do that. All I know is I put the patch on and it works. So there you go. Objection handling can also be overcome sometimes by just asking more questions. So the person says, yeah, but it seems expensive. Okay, well, all right, well, what's too expensive for your health, for your mental clarity, for your ailments, for reverse aging, for having a younger feeling heart, whatever the benefits are, right? Ask more questions, and sometimes the objection just gets handled in the other person thinking about the questions you're asking. So ask more questions. Then, if you're continually getting stumped, get some coaching. There's plenty of people in our organization that would be happy to sit with you or get on a Zoom call or a phone call with you and help with those things. And I can tell you now, role play and practice makes perfect, because the secret about objection handling is you don't falter and you give the answer straight away. You can only practice that, or you can get very good at it if you do role play and practice it.
Practice with your family. They're the best to practice on.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing is, when you know, you know. Okay, when you know the subject, when you know, and you've had a number of objections come your way, you kind of see the objection coming in the first few words of the sentence, and you're already like, oh, well, I know, this is objection number 7, and I know exactly how to handle that. So when you know, you know. And it makes this game actually quite a lot of fun. All right, number 16.
All right, that's mine. Stay consistent, guys. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. This is not how quickly we can do something. Okay, we are in it for the long haul. You take your time. Pace yourself. This is why we drip feed. Okay, and you may need some short sprints here and there. Yes, of course. And then just stay the course, guys. And just know what you're doing is going to yield a result, okay? And it's a little bit every day. If you can only manage 15 minutes, because I often get the objection, oh, I'm too busy. Guys, we want busy people. You want something done, give it to a busy person. I've had people say to me before, oh, you know, my sister or my aunt or whatever, they don't do anything. They just sit on the couch all day and watch TV. No, thank you. I don't want that person. Because why? If they can't even do something for themselves, how does it make you think they're actually going to get involved and do something, you know, for a group or a team or anything like that? I don't want that person. I want the busiest, most active person, because I know that person will get it done, because it's boom, boom, boom. We need to get to the end result of the day. And then again, do a little bit every single day. If you've only got your 15 minutes, make it count. Okay. And I heard the Kendall lady, forget her name now, but I watched her training recently, and she says she gets her stuff done in between. This is the magic of this business. While she's loading the dishwasher, she's thinking about, oh, I need to get hold of blah, and she quickly sends a message. Or taking the washing down off the line. I'm just using examples, right? Or you cooking. That often happens to me. I'm cooking and I go, oh, yes, let me just quickly, I need to follow up with this one or check that one. Or somebody comes into my mind. I always use that. Chris also says, look at the signs around you. So when somebody comes into your mind, work on it and then stick to a game plan. Okay. Have some kind of idea of what you want out of this, where you're going. Don't get up willy-nilly and go, oh, I just, I hope it goes okay today. No, have some kind of plan. Have somebody you can chat it over. The teams are there for us to use. And, you have a whole community you can tap into, guys. So just do a little bit every single day, okay? It's not about how much you can do and how quickly you can do it. And again, I always say comparison is the thief of joy. Okay, don't compare yourself to somebody else. Your journey is your journey. Somebody else may have gotten there in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 week or whatever. So what? It's your journey with what your time is available, and you do it your way that this is for you in the long haul. This is not a quick little sprint, okay? And maybe for somebody who's a little not as outgoing or they find it difficult, they're gonna get some traction and they'll get there. Okay, they will eventually get there. So don't compare yourself to somebody else's journey. It's your journey. All right.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Good. All right, guys. So number 17. Develop a daily method of operating. Okay, what do we mean by that? It means to schedule things. Now, this is such, if you Google time management, it is one of the most searched topics on Google. Just go have a look at it. Millions of people search this. The thing about it is you've got to do it, and you've got to do it with a discipline that means win or lose, right? And even if that is to set aside those 15 minutes have to be sacred. They're yours. And most importantly, the people around you, your significant others, your kids, your whatever, must understand that that's your time. If you get that buy-in, it makes that schedule even easier. I do that from time to time, and my daughter will come to me and say, hey, Dad, it's 9 p.m. Your schedule for whatever it is now. Why are you still sitting watching TV? Do you get the idea? Others get involved in helping the schedules come right. Now, what else? Plan ahead. You can't just arrive in the day and get things done. One has to at least have some forecast of future activity. And the secret to this is to focus on a routine, because that way you start to almost develop a muscle memory of, well, on this day at this time, I do life work. And if you keep that as a routine and it becomes a habit, you find it more and more easier to do. And remember, in this business, if you've not been in the game of network marketing before, you may need to break some habits, and that can be tough. But you found an accountability partner to help you. You could reach out to anyone in the group of LifeWave, of a friend, of a family member, whatever the case is, and you say, help me make sure that between this time and that time, that's what I'm doing. And you'll find it'll work. And really, do it like you mean it. Do it like you mean it, and you'll get the result. All right. The next one, number 18.
Build multiple streams of income. Guys, this is what's so wonderful about LifeWave, because it's not just one stream of income. We have 4 different ways, guys, that you can get paid. So you have your retail profits, you have your product introductory bonus, your PIBs, you have your binary commissions, so manager making machines, And then you have your matching bonus, which you only qualify for if you are a manager and you are making managers. So again, remember in the other slide where we said it's a duplicable system? You need to be able to duplicate, okay, with understanding of how to do this business. And then referrals are free. So it doesn't mean that the person you speak to and they go, no, this isn't for me, or, it's not going to work for me, or I don't have time, or whatever. Always ask for a referral. I promise you, we often forget and we think, oh, because they said no. Just switch it up and go, okay, so, or you can even start and say, I'm not telling this for you, but what I want to know from you, you're so well connected. Don't you know somebody who blah, or don't you know somebody who, and think of what you want to ask them, because you can use that to your advantage. And people like that actually, because they're not put on a spot themselves. It's actually a very smart tool, is to go to somebody and say, you know what, I want to talk to you about this, but not for you. Okay. And they're like, why not for me? What's wrong with me? And they'll want to buy in anyway.
Yeah.
So you get to explain it and use the people in the room for referrals. Whether it's our family and friends are the best to practice on, and use them, and say to them, I know you, whatever, but give me a referral. Who do you know that may have a sore back or a this or a that, or want to earn some extra money? And then make use of international opportunities, guys. So your friends overseas, we all have a school base or friendship, that spans across continents and years, and tap into those, guys. Whether it's family, friends, we all know somebody overseas. When you tap into that international opportunity, it opens up the doors so widely. And it, while this is residual income at its best with the binary, if somebody enrolls with you, because, when we're going to sleep, America and whatever's waking up. When we wake up, or while we're sleeping, Australia is already doing their day. So you can actually, across the whole planet, get 24 hours of income producing coming in. Okay, and you can leverage this business that way. So be smart about it.
100%. All right, guys. So number 19, maintain a positive mindset. Excuse me. Now, rejection is part of the process. It happens. And the thing to do is not take it personally. Rejection, or a no, and you've heard many of these terms, no is not now, no is it'll come later on. In the end, rejection can be difficult. All right, but one's got to develop a steel-plated shield against it, actually. And you develop resilience to it by doing it more and more, by getting more and more no's. And you start to realize it's not a personal thing. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. Usually, it's somebody else's issue, right? And we're not in the business of handling their issues. We're in the business of sharing information. They need to come around to it. And when you look at it from that point of view, there's no break in it. It's only make. And you just keep going and create good relationships. Now, switch lanes if you get stuck. This is what can happen. You could sit down today and you want to call a group, a list, and say you want to call 20 people. You might get 15 who reject you, right? Don't keep going. Switch lanes. Go do something else. Watch a training session, a recording of a Zoom call. Go do something else related to LifeWave, but just hang on for a few minutes, clear your mind, get out of that sort of everybody's saying no today mentality, and then come back to the last 5, right? So switch lanes, do something else. What I mean by that too is you can get so stuck and so complicated about what's going on. The best thing you can do for yourself is take a walk. And that really applies to anything in life. When you find it hard going, when you find work, life waving or talking to people, whatever it is that you're doing, and you're starting to slow down, your mojo's not quite there, take a walk.
Literally take a walk.
Get up.
Physically get up
And take a walk around the room. It'll do wonders. All right. Now, the last one, number 20. Never stop learning. Never stop learning. It is not sufficient to go over the toolbox once or the comp plan once. One has to continually do that and learn from other people. You have to really, really invest in your personal development, because this business is going to push everyone, and it has for us definitely pushed us out of our comfort zones into growth. And the only way we've managed to do that is to research more about how to do this better, and how to stay motivated, how to keep going. There are books, courses, mentorships. There are so many resources to be able to do that. But one of the key things that I wanted to share with you is follow success. Follow someone who's done it already and has been successful with it. Those are the trailblazers. There's no reason why we can't do the same thing. So keep your focus and take the right advice. And if it doesn't feel like it resonates with you, it's not for you. All right? Find someone that will. Networking will require uncomfortable growth. It does that. It does that because it's a tough old business. But the rewards, both in friendship, in caring, in return of appreciation, and at some point some financial, is way beyond anything that I've ever experienced in my life. So it's just absolutely phenomenal. Okay, and push your own boundaries. When you feel like you want to give up and it's not a good day and I'm just going to go and do something else, you push through, and that's where growth happens. And if you need someone to come and cheer in your corner or wipe your brow or help you get through this, there is someone in this entire Lifeway family that will do it willingly without any question. You just have to ask. Okay.
I want to add to that, if I may. So I today was reminded about, for those of us who were at the conference in December, Chris's analogy with the aeroplane. You know how an aeroplane has to go against tremendous resistance before it actually takes off and soars. And it's that wind and that resistance and everything that you just keep going. And I was just reminded today about just doing that. So you have this tremendous resistance sometimes, and life happens and it throws you all these curveballs, but just know that you are on the cusp of something amazing, okay? Whether it's on your own personal journey, and you hitting some kind of barrier with, I don't know, whatever it is. You know, there may be resistance, but just know that on the edge of that is you're about to fly, and you're about to take off. Like so many of our leaders, Chris, Javi, George, all of us, all of them have said, you know, we don't do it every day. We just do a little bit. We don't do it all day, but we do a little bit every single day. And just don't give up for one more day. And that's the importance here.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that story. That's such a good one. It's such a good example. All right. So now, guys, those are the 20 ways to grow a business. They're not the only ones. There are many of those. I thought those were quite impactful. They certainly resonated with me. And I wanted to just say to everyone that's in this call, from our hearts, we appreciate you being here with us, to sharing this. It's almost been an hour. It feels like it flew by in about 5 minutes. It's been wonderful to share this with you. I hope something in this changed for you, and there's something here that you can take away with you and go and apply it and turn a corner in your business and help it along. We really, really do. So I want to say thank you. It's been an honor for both myself, for Tanya, to be with you guys. We're gonna see you again, and thank you to Chris and to Lucinda, who are in the UK, for giving us this opportunity.
The Trailblazers.
The Trailblazers.
Yeah.
And I think what we'll do is we'll wrap it up at this point and say, remember, this has been recorded, so there's no doubt that Chris will share it when he gets the link and get it back to you so that you can look at it again and try out those 20 points. All right. Okay. Well, in the meantime, we'll just have a look at some of the chats that have come up. If there's anything there, any questions? Sound is dropping. All right, good. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll see you all again really soon. Have a really good evening.